Hi everyone, it's Noelia with My Moxie Dreams. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a plan with me and October setup in my Pocket Moleskine daily. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. And if you do, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. For everybody else, welcome back. Before we start, today's going to be a little bit different and maybe way slower than normal. And here is why. You can see that I have an injury here. And we'll get into that injury shortly. I actually have a doctor's appointment at 2:50. I'm going to leave here because Jaden also has a doctor appointment and he needs some labs done. So I'm trying to get this done and wrap it up so that I can edit it while I'm waiting at the doctor's office. Okay, we'll get into the whole why and how and all the details there. It's a funny story, kind of, sort of, almost. That would only happen to me. So before we start, I want to show you guys what our October theme. This time around, I didn't realize we were already at the end of October, and Sunday night I decided to kind of hurry up and pick a theme, and this is the theme that I decided on. I love the orange for October. I typically don't do Halloween-y things for October in my past themes, but this year, considering when I was at the doctor, she made a funny comment that the area that we were dealing with looked like a horror scene, and I just thought it was funny because I was just like, it really does. This is like exactly what a horror film would look like. But I wanted more Dia de los Muertos. As you guys know, I am Hispanic, and I wanted to go more with the Dia de los Muertos theme, but that beautiful October fall vibe. So this is what we chose. I also, for the first time, am doing kind of a Halloween-y theme with the spider webs, different kinds and whatnot. So we'll work on that together now. I'm sorry if you're going to be focusing on my hand. Again, there's nothing I can do about it. I'll tell you why it's this way, and hopefully today I'll get more answers on what needs to be done. And all of that stuff. So let's go into it, shall we? Let's take this out. I have to be very careful with my finger, which is, I wasn't going to do a plan with me, but then I realized it was the end of the month and I needed to do a plan with me. So today is Monday. It is the 29th. So I do have Tuesday left, which will give me time to edit. Let's go ahead and go through Sunday. I'll make sure I don't go past there. Let me get another thing to put under here. Ruby is sitting over here waiting for me to feed her, which is so funny. Are you hungry, fatty? We try to call her Skinny Minnie now because she's not fat anymore. Okay, we're gonna use 912, and hopefully it's gonna look the way I thought it was gonna look. I didn't get to test it, so we'll just figure it out. It looks like we're going to have a short week because there's only a few days. So how this happened. Saturday, I was getting ready to vacuum seal and cut up, vacuum seal some cheese because I bought two 14-pound blocks. And so what I typically do is I slice them, sandwich slice them. I put them in blocks. I do cubes so that we have kind of stuff set for quesadillas when we want them, enchiladas shredded for anything that we're doing shredded, etc., sandwiches, etc. So I have an attachment that goes onto my KitchenAid, and I have a glass bowl that I use that came with my KitchenAid mixer. And so I don't need the glass bowl when I'm doing the shredding of the cheese. I put it in a different kind of container so that I can weigh it out. And then this is really messy. It is what it is, you guys. And so I went, my son was also in the kitchen. He was on the left side of the kitchen and I was on the right side, and the sink is in between us. And I went to turn to put the glass bowl back where it goes in the corner where my son was. And I guess when I turned, the bottom of the glass, the lip that attaches to the KitchenAid, hit the corner of the tile of my kitchen counter and just shattered into a gajillion pieces, like big, small, medium shards of glass everywhere. Let me get my pen. And neither one of us had our shoes on. We were kind of just lounging around. I was in my pajamas. I'd just taken a shower because I'd been in the garden all day, all morning, and I was ready to do the in-house kind of chores, which was to separate this cheese blocks that I had purchased. So it shatters. Belle was awake and was in her bedroom. Jaden, I think, was also awake in his bedroom. So I immediately, when I realized what's happening, that everything shattered, and because of the way that I was positioned, it was just weird. I was like, my legs were out. I wasn't standing straight up. So I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I was like leaning into the sink. My legs were out. Chris was standing straight up near the sink. So I immediately tell him, do not move. Like, do not make any movement. And I call Belle to bring Chrissy his slippers so that Christopher can put on his slippers and back out of the kitchen very slowly. Belle came. She made sure she had shoes on. Jay came, and then Belle, I told her, go get my slippers. And when she was coming to get, I think when she brought Christopher his slippers first, because of course my mentality is take care of my kids first. So I'm like, get Christopher his slippers first so that he can walk away. When she brought him his slippers, because the first thing I did was look down to make sure whatever had broken didn't cut his feet or his legs, which when I looked down, there was nothing on him, thank goodness. Oh, I forgot my... And so when Belle came to bring Chris his thingamabobs, his slippers, she noticed that there was blood droplets on the carpet that was right in front of the sink. And she immediately is like, Mom, are you okay? And I'm like, where is the blood coming from? Because I don't see it on Chris. I then look at my hands and see just blood gushing out. I'm sorry, trigger warning. I should say trigger warning earlier. I'm so sorry if you don't want to hear this. This probably isn't for you. But this is the story time. This is what's happening today. So I realized that I'm the one who's cut. I had a cut here, a slice here, but the pinky was completely sliced in half. And I'm like, oh crap, you know, and I'm very calm in situations. I was more kind of yelling in the sense of like, hey, I need you to go get me Belle, go get me the first aid kit. Belle, grab me, you know. And I realized when she said, are you okay? Because she saw the blood. What are you doing? Sorry, that's Ruby trying to go outside in the garage. Hold on, let me let her out. Oh, that's not straight. That's not straight. There we go. Sorry, Ruby's being a brat. She's hungry. So I knew immediately once I figured out that I was the one bleeding that I needed stitches. I put my hand under water and could see, you know, how bad it was. So I, again, am in my pajamas and tank top. I'm not wearing anything underneath. So I like tell Belle knows to get the first aid kit. She gets me gauze. I'm going through the gauze, like I'm going through a lot of gauze. So I'm trying to put as much pressure as I can. I go into, you know, once Christopher had his once he had his shoes on, he started picking up all the big pieces. Jay then comes and they wanted to like vacuum the rest. There was so much glass. And I'm like, no, what we're going to do. And I'm still like standing over the sink in the weirdest position. And I'm like, okay, what we're going to do is roll up the carpet very carefully so that no shards, no tiny little pieces escape. That way, my mentality was to protect my kids and them not get any cuts. And so, you know, I'm still in the kitchen and Belle's bringing me gauze and we're just going through gauze as the boys are calmly, you know, trying to pull the carpet from underneath me, whatever. So they finally get that because that resolved. I wanted that to be outside so that the kids wouldn't, or the cats would get hurt. So I then go to my room and Belle is having to help me get dressed because I cannot use my left hand. Like it is drenched. It keeps like, again, I'm going through gauze every 30 seconds. We're applying a new gauze because it was just so bad. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally dressed and I tell the kids, okay, I'm going to drive myself to urgent care. I have Kaiser, so that means I would have to drive 45 minutes to the emergency room, but there is a urgent care that takes Kaiser for those non-urgent items, right? So I get in the car and I tell, you know, the kids, like I told Belle, call the urgent care just to make sure they can do stitches. If not, then I'm going to have to drive to the Kaiser. So Belle knows what to do. She calls and my eldest is like, Mom, Jay wants to go with you. You shouldn't be going by yourself. I'm like, you guys, I just need stitches. Like, it's totally okay. But Jaden wanted to come with me and he jumped in the car. And I told him, I said, look, I'm okay. Again, there's a lot of blood, but I told him, I'm like, I'm not in pain. Like the worst part of the situation is when they put the injections to numb me. They put it right inside the cut and it's gonna hurt and you're gonna see me kind of wince a little bit, but other than that, I'll be okay. So I get to the place. Belle's like, yes, they do stitches. They're expecting you. So I get there, walk in, and she's like, are you Noelia? Your daughter just called. We are all set for you. So they take me back there. Thankfully, there was nobody there. So I got kind of prompt attention. And the nurse is trying to get this to stop and it's not stopping. And she's like doing the same thing. She keeps every 30 seconds having to reapply gauze and the whole tray was just filled with BLOOD, filled. And finally the doctor comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, this is pretty bad. Let me see, you know, she's like, I can't get the bleeding to stop. And I'm like, do you think I hit an artery? And she's like, you might have. We're going to try to get, you know, we're going to try to stitch you and see if the stitching will help stop the bleeding. She's like, but I can't stitch you up when you're gushing blood like this because I can't see what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, what's the solution here, doc? Because like, I haven't been able to stop, you know, bleeding this whole time. So she's like, well, let's inject you. So they start, she's like, take a deep breath because this is really going to hurt, which I know. I've had stitches on my head before. And I know the worst part is the numbing medicine when the needle goes in. And so these are my stickers, you guys, these cute little spider webs with the little spiders, and then this whole thing I'm thinking I'm going to cut in half. We'll see how we play it out, but I had to pull the actual sticker paper off because it was so hard to get the stickers off. So hopefully it will work. So it's not working. They inject me. I don't feel anything. And she's like, that's concerning that you don't feel anything. I'm like, I don't feel her putting in the shots. I don't feel anything. And she's like, well, that's concerning. And I'm still calm and I'm telling Jay, everything's fine. Everything's fixable. Don't worry. And, okay, I'm trying to see how we're going to do this. I think it's this one. We're going to try, these are so delicate that it's going to be interesting to put them on. So she tries to put a stitch, but she's like, your scar is going to be horrendous because I can't see what I'm doing and I'm just trying my best. I'm like, look, I don't care. about a scar. Like, I really don't care about a scar. Let's see, I think it's this one. Let's try this one. I'm trying to see, because I just picked these out yesterday. I didn't really practice. And so she's like, okay, we need to put a tourniquet on your pinky, at the bottom of your pinky. This looks pretty, right? Is that too not? I think that looks good, you guys, right? Like, that looks nice. And so they put a tourniquet and it slows down the flow, and she's able to kind of do a stitch. And then in between a stitch, she has the nurse put more gauze to try to suck up all the stuff that's flowing out. And she's just like, are you on any blood thinners? Like, this is not normal for you to be bleeding this bad. And I'm like, no, I'm not on any blood thinners. Like, you mean, I'm like, should I be going to the emergency room? I'm starting to not panic outwardly, but I'm like, what if I did hit an artery? Like, should I have gone straight to the emergency room instead of come here to the urgent care? Like, I'm starting to question myself, but I'm like, Noelia, it's fine. She's the doctor. If she's concerned, she's like, if I put in this last stitch and you don't stop bleeding, I'm sending you to the emergency. I'm like, okay. So she puts the last 2 stitches and it stopped bleeding. Right now, because I'm moving it a lot, it's freaking hurting, but whatever. I'm seeing if I like this, if I should do like big ones. I might have to do big ones. We'll see. So it finally stops and she's like, okay. And she's like, because of where I sliced it like this whole thing. So I sliced it from here, the top, all the way across. So this portion, which is the worst place because you bend it and it's completely cut, like completely cut. So she's like, because of where you cut it and because you're bleeding so much, she's like, I have to put this thing on it because any movement, you bump it, I have to prevent it from bending because any bending will pop the stitches. So I'm like, okay, got it. She's like, okay. And I happen to have my annual doctor's appointment is today. So I told her, I'm like, look, she's like, if it starts to bleed through the gauze, you need to go emergency room immediately because I can't, you're bleeding so much, we can't get it stopped. I'm like, okay. So she stitches me up, she puts this thing and she's like, just be aware, pay attention, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it. So I leave. I'm like, I'm going to go have coffee because that morning I hadn't had a coffee. Oh no. I gotta this is what's tricky, this little spider guy. And so I go to get coffee before I come home. And Jaden's really upset with me. He's like, Mom, you're not supposed to you shouldn't have coffee right now. It's going to make your heart rate go up. I'm like, Jay, I'm okay. Like, it's okay for me to have a cup of coffee. Like what I've been through so far. Here's what that looks like. I like this better, don't you? Instead of cutting them in half, I like the whole ones. I guess we could do a whole one and then a half one. We'll see. So we were already across town. So my thought process, we're already here. Let me just go it's starting to hurt because I'm moving it a lot. I'm like, we're already here. I'm going to go grab the Starbucks, the drive-through Starbucks, and I'm going to go home. So we go get the coffee. Jay's really upset with me because I'm getting coffee. We finally get my coffee, and I'm now on my way home on the freeway on the way home. Highway, freeway, I don't know. Yeah, highway. I'm not feeding you anymore, girlfriend. And so right before I get a call from Belle, and she's like, Mom, you have to go back. And I'm like, what? And she's like, they gave you the wrong sutures. They gave you dissolvable, which is going to kind of dissolve in 3 days. And she just realized it. And you need to go back. And I'm like, are you freaking joking right now? Is this a joke? Are you punking me? She's like, no, Mom, you need to go back. So I had to go back. Thankfully, she called me right before the exit. And I had to go back. And so I go in and Jay's like pissed because he's like, what did this girl doesn't know what she's doing. My mom's probably gonna die because she's not even catching this. And so I walk in, and mind you, I'm super calm the whole time. The first time around, I was like, take your time, it's okay, I don't care about a scar, do whatever you need to do to get it to stop. And the second time I walk in, I'm like, she's like, I should have known. She's like, when I was doing your stitches, it just didn't feel right. And the stitches she was putting in me were clear. And I knew, I was like, that's weird, you know, shit, you know, they've advanced so much that I just didn't think anything of it. And because I was bleeding so much, I was just like, do whatever you need to do to stop it. Like, I don't care. She realized that she had put the wrong stitches, so they had to go back. And she's like, I'm gonna do one stitch at a time, because she was so afraid I was gonna start gushing again. She's like, I'm gonna do one stitch, clip one stitch of the old one, and then stitch the new one with the right threading. And she did that. And it started bleeding again, but not as bad as the first time. So she felt so bad. She's like, I'm sorry, my nurse did the wrong one and I should have caught it, but you know, I knew the tension wasn't there when I was putting it on. And I'm like, look, it's fine. It's not a big deal. She's like, make sure your doctor sees it, and make sure, you know, that she orders x-rays and you talk to a hand surgeon, because the cut was so deep. And because I couldn't feel when she was putting the injections in, she's like, it'd be a good idea for you to have that checked out. Did I do everything? Yeah, numbers, letters, okay. To have everything checked out. And so I'm like, okay, where's my little thingamabob? I have everything laid out here for, where is it? Did I toss it? Am I going insane? I'm trying to find, oh, here she is. No, that's not her. There she is. And we have to do the monthly, so let's get over here to the month. So yeah, so she's like, you know, thank God I have I'm meeting with my normal doctor today. That makes me feel way better that I'm gonna have, because I won't lie, after they made me go back, I was starting to question the person's capabilities. I'm like, what if I hit an artery and she's not sending me to the doctor? How bad can this get? By the grace of God, I did not cut my ring finger. Belle kept telling me that. She's like, you were so freaking lucky that you did not cut your ring finger. It would have been so much worse. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, it was bad, you guys. It was not fun. I tried to stay calm for my kids, and I was calm up until the point that I got to the urgent care, and I was bleeding so bad that they couldn't get it to stop. And then I was just like, holy shit, what if it is 1000%? I hit an artery and I should be at the hospital right now instead of at an urgent care. Do I want to do this? I think I'm going to do this here. And then I want to try one of these side ones. I think they're cute. So at any rate, I came home. She told me not to move my hand. I tried really hard not to, although yesterday was a Cowboy game. And I had taken the brace off because it was just causing pressure, and I just wanted to, am I doing it here? I'm gonna do it like this. I think that's cute. What? I am like all over the place today. There we go. Let's see. Do we like that? I like it. This one probably has more than it should, but I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, and so yesterday I took the metal piece off because I was laying in bed. I'm like, I'm not going to bend it. And then somewhere during the game, there was a great play at the end, and I just went, wah, clapped, and my God, I thought I was going to die. I was like, you are such a gooberson, Noelia. Like, gee whiz. You guys know I'm going to put that in after. So where's my pen? Okay, let me put my stickers away. Stickers can get put away. Here's my pen. Banking. So that is what happened. And then as I'm there waiting, she's like putting the gauze over, and it was like the tray, you know how when they set up the tray to start stitching you, it's got all the tools, the metal tray, that had all red, BLOOD. I don't know if I say these things too much that I won't be monetized and on this particular video if I say gruesome stuff, but the whole tray was full of BLOOD. And the doctor was like, oh my God, this totally looks like a horror scene, you know, for Halloween. And I'm laughing. And Jaden took pictures of, we took pictures of it the second time she stitched me up. I wasn't caring to take photos because it was just, I was more concerned that I couldn't get that flow to stop. And so after the second time, it was just funny because finally it stopped, and Jade and I took photos of it. I was going to post it yesterday, and it was so funny. I had a lot of people. I said, I'm going to save you the gruesomeness. And I had DMs like, show us, just put trigger warning. So people who don't want to see it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to put it. It was really bad. It is really bad. So hopefully today when I see my primary doctor, I get referred to the hand surgeon, and then they'll do the x-rays and whatever to figure that out. But that is the story, you guys, of this, and no bueno, no fun, especially because I had so much to do. So yesterday, this happened Saturday. So yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to take everything out again to start, you know, vacuum sealing the cheese and shredding the cheese. And my kids are like, are you freaking kidding me, Noelia? Like, just sit down and rest. I'm like, I can't sit down and rest. My brain won't let me, and I just can't. I'm going to be super careful, although doing this with you guys and moving it a lot is causing, the pressure is down here. I don't feel any pain. It's just pressure down in here. I don't know if you could see. And this is the nerve that freaking, just that sensation right there hurts. And then the cut here is not, it's bad, but not stitches bad. That will heal on its own. But these two fingers are hard to move, or when I move them, there's a shooting pain here in my nerves. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But that is it. You're not
supposed to use that hand.
Here comes Belle. So that is it, you guys. That is my plan with me. That's story time. I'll probably go into more details in my everyday carry October theme, but it's appropriate, right? This gory story for October theme makes sense. It didn't happen. Belle, it wasn't supposed to be this way, but alas, this is what October theme is. Welcome to October. I will put this in here. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to do it the other way. Yikes. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to have to cut this. I always do two. So what I did was rounded the wrong corner. It's supposed to be like this. So I'll have to cut this one off camera and redo it so that it sets in here correctly. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do my everyday carry today. It'll probably be recorded tomorrow, but hopefully I'll have this video up tomorrow. And then hopefully I'll get good news today with the doctor. I guess I won't have any news until later. That is that. Thank you for those of you who were wishing me well wishes on Instagram when I posted the photo of this. I'm doing well. The other good news is I had just done my nails the night before. So I don't have to worry about my nails unless I get nervous and start picking at them. But yeah. Okay, you guys, if you are new, I'm so sorry for the goriness. It is normally not this gory. Ever. I normally have funny stories. This is kind of funny. Oh, what I was going to say is that the first time when I got there and she's like applying the gauze to get the stuff to stop flowing, I'm with my right hand on Amazon trying to find the replacement to my KitchenAid glass bowl. So yeah, the kids don't want me to get a glass bowl. They're like, there's this beautiful wooden bowl. It's like gorgeous, but I don't want to spend $150 for a wooden bowl. But yeah, anyways, that was the funny part. The nurse is like, you're sitting here like bleeding to death and you're looking for the replacement glass bowl. I'm like, yeah, because I really loved it. So anyways, again, if you are new, I'm so sorry for this craziness. For those of you who've been with me for a while, you know the way that it works. I always have silly, funny stories. I'm telling you, we were in the urgent care and my son told the doctor, my mom should have a camera crew because the most crazy things happened to her. And the fact that I had to go back and have her remove all the stitches and re-stitch me because she used the wrong ones, only me. That would only happen to me. So yeah, that was funny. Anyways, I'm sure I'll be fine. Everything is fixable. That's what I told my kids. Everything can be handled. So yeah. All right. Again, if you are new here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this craziness. And if you did, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. For everybody else, thanks for hanging in there with me, you guys. Thanks for the roller coaster of my life. I hope you enjoy the craziness and the bonkerness that I experience on a daily basis. Yeah, so there's that. Okay, everyone, that is that. We're going to put this little baby back in her thing, and I am going to try to not use my hand as much as possible, but I needed to do this. So, all right, I hope you have a wonderful week, you guys, and I will see you next time. Only one hand wiggling. Bye.